You've probably been told that to grow your business, you need better marketing, more story, more personality, copy that sells. But here's the truth no one tells you. You don't need more attention. You need more certainty. Buyers don't want to be entertained. They want to know, can you solve my problem? Can I trust you? And am I making the right decision? That's what happens in the real world. That's where most businesses lose out, because while copywriters sell the story, bid writers close the deal. So this is how I like to put it. Sales copy is like a shop window. It gets attention. But bid writing gets people through the till. And that's where the growth actually happens. But this video isn't about writing bids. It's about thinking like a bid writer. So your proposals, pitches, emails, and conversations don't just sound good. They win work. Here's what I'm going to show you. Why most messaging falls flat at the moment of decision, and 5 bid writing techniques that build trust fast and how you can use them even if you never write a tender in your life. If you've ever sent a proposal, followed up and heard nothing back, these tools are your fix. Copywriting is brilliant, don't get me wrong, when you want eyeballs. It's persuasive, engaging and often emotional. But here's the problem. When your buyer has to choose, not just click, emotion isn't enough. When money's involved, when trust is required, when someone else needs to sign off, they don't want to be impressed, they want to be sure. That's the shift. Bid writing isn't about sounding good, it's about removing risk, it's about clarity, relevance and proof. Buyers under pressure don't want to decode cleverness, they want to make the right decision fast. Bid writers aren't wordsmiths, we're just trust builders. We think like this. What does the client really care about? What would make them hesitate? What can we say to make the decision feel safe? We write like someone's going to challenge every word, because they often do. No vague promises, no bloated claims, just this is what we do, here's how it works, and here's the result we've already delivered. So let's look at 5 tools that win work. Tool 1, probably my favorite, which means that. This is the fastest way to make your messaging clearer and stronger. Take any claim you make and follow it with which means that. An example we respond quickly would actually turn into we reply to all messages within 2 hours, which means that issues never drag on and you never left wondering what's happening. We've worked with 100 clients turns into we've worked with over 100 clients, which means that we've probably solved your exact problem more than once. It forces you to translate what you do into why it matters, and that's what buyers care about. In fact, this is so important that I've made a video just on this subject. The second tool is star stories, and this is not just a story, it's proof, and it's the basis of how case studies are written. So if you want to tell a business story that builds trust, use STAR. It's how we structure all our case studies in a winning bid. So, situation, task, action, result. Situation, what was going on. Task, what needed to be done. Action, what you actually did. And result, what changed. So an example, a school needed emergency repairs after a failed inspection. The situation. We were asked to mobilize within 48 hours. The task. We deployed our on-call team overnight and completed the work in 3 days. The action. The site passed re-inspection and reopened on time. The result. Short, clear, no nonsense, and it gives the buyer confidence. Tool 3. Preempt the doubt. Every buyer has unspoken worries. Will this actually work? Will I be left chasing them? What if something goes wrong? Now, if your messaging doesn't address these doubts, someone else's will. So write like someone's about to interrupt you and say, how do I know that's true? So an example, rather than saying we offered a tailored service, you say every client gets a dedicated account manager, weekly check-ins and same-day support when something goes off plan. Anticipate hesitation. Answer before it's asked. That's how you build trust fast. Tool 4, say it, show it, prove it. This structure is so simple and lethal. Say what you do, show how you do it, prove it works. Let's apply it. We support local businesses turns into we've worked with 40 plus independent service companies in the last year. Our one client grew 36% in 90 days using our strategic plan and wrote us a public case study. You're not trying to impress. You're giving people reasons to believe. And tool 5, ditch the meaningless words. Most business writing is full of noise. If you use words like significant, innovative, leading, world-class, bespoke, stop. They don't mean anything unless you explain how. The strongest messaging is specific, not spectacular. Precision builds trust. Ambiguity builds resistance. Again, this is so important that I made a video on this subject also. These tools don't just work in formal tenders. They work anywhere your buyer needs to feel confident. So proposals, client emails, LinkedIn messages, your website, pitches, even conversations. So whether you're a coach, a tradesperson, a freelancer, or a founder, this is how you stop sounding like everyone else and start giving buyers what they need to say yes. This isn't about being a better writer. It's about being easier to choose. If you're tired of sounding clever but not closing, stop selling stories. Start building certainty. Welcome to what is a quiet rebellion, where structure beats spin, where trust outperforms tactics, where value doesn't shout, it proves, and where we don't sell louder, we sell clearer. If this hits home, and you want more tools like this, I run a group called Bid for Business. It's not a course, it's a practical, no-nonsense community where we help each other write better proposals, win more work, and grow without gimmicks. You'll get templates you can use, feedback on your messaging, Q&As, walkthroughs, and strategy sessions, and support from people who are out there doing the work. It's completely free to join, and if you're serious about getting chosen, not just noticed, you want to be in there. Link in the description below.